In the past, when China was still divided in many kingdoms, there lived a young emperor who was known to be both wise and restless. He led a vast land, but every day he witnessed war on the borders. The people were tired, the soldiers fell, and the homeland was torn apart by the ambitions of the rulers. This emperor often sat in his silent chamber, staring at a map of the land. The lines of the river, the fortress, and the mountain appeared only as scratches of ink. "How can I teach the art of war without having to sacrifice a soul?" he murmured. One night he was inspired by a strange dream. In the dream, the spirits of the ancestors came to him. They showed a large board with lines of squares. Above it, the army moved lively. War chariots rode on straight tracks. Horses galloped up and down, cannons struck enemies from a distance, and small warriors stepped forward without ever retreating. When he woke up, the emperor immediately summoned the palace craftsmen. "Make me a wooden board with these lines, and carve the stone into pieces as I saw in my dream," he commanded. That day, the Chinese chess xiangqi was born. The emperor introduced him to his generals and advisors. "Behold," he said, "on this board we can fight without shedding blood. Every step is a strategy. Every piece is a reflection of life." The game soon spread. The soldiers played it to train the mind, and the commoners found entertainment in it. The scholars enjoyed it to hone logic. From the magnificent palace to the village road, the xiangqi board became a bridge between war and peace. Since then, people have believed that this game is not just a human creation, but a legacy from the ancestors passed down through the emperor's dream. And to this day, every time two people sit face to face on the xiangqi board, they seem to repeat the emperor's dream-building strategies, protecting the king and seeking victory without bloodshed. After the xiangqi was born from his dream, the emperor felt that he had found a new path. He hoped that with the board, the generals could hone the strategy without having to shed blood on the battlefield. Soon, however, word came from the north. The neighboring kingdom prepared a large army to attack. The generals hurried to ask permission to fight. "Your Majesty, if we wait, this land will fall. Allow us to raise our swords immediately," exclaimed one of the generals. The emperor fell silent. He stared at the xiangqi board before him. The river in the middle of the board seemed to separate two worlds, peace and war. He then said, "I do not want my people to become victims again. Bring in an envoy from a neighboring kingdom. I want to speak directly with the king." When the two leaders met, the young emperor posed a strange challenge. "Instead of killing each other on the battlefield, let's sit on this board. Whoever wins, he is the one who is entitled to the disputed territory. That way, blood does not need to flow, and the people still live in peace." The neighboring king initially laughed at the idea. "Will the fate of the kingdom be decided by the game of wood and stone?" he scoffed. But when the game started, he was shocked. The young emperor turned out to be a strategist. Step by step, he closed the enemy's path, locked the war chariot, and even trapped the opposing king in a helpless position. There was a long silence. At last he got up, bowed his head respectfully, and said, "You are right, O Emperor. Whoever is able to control this small board must be able to guard a large country. I lost, and I do not want to force a war." From then on, the legend of xiangqi became more and more fragrant. The people called this game a bloodless war, a symbol of the wisdom of the emperor who preferred reason to sword. But the emperor knew that the xiangqi board was only a mirror. A true battle remained in the hearts of men, whether to choose the path of war or to tread the path of peace.